Okay, today we are going to take the get home bag on a little dry run, get some practice in, see if it's got everything we need. Actually, maybe set up a small camp just to see what I'm lacking, maybe things that I've got in here that I just don't need. Now, this is a get home bag, so I'm not really planning on camping. I just want to get home. But big storm or something comes up, you might have to throw a shelter together real quick. So we're also going to be testing out this Ozark Trail emergency blanket. So while I'm getting everything ready here, so that we can go get this journey started, if y'all wouldn't mind, take a second to like the video and maybe subscribe to the channel, because every time I see that subscription number tick up, or I see a thumbs up on my video, that helps me out a lot. And I don't mean financially, I mean it motivates me to get better so that I can bring better things and better content to you. So, in order for me to make a good channel, why don't you help me to help you? Y'all hold on, we'll be right back. Alright, so I found a spot where we're going to put the shelter at, right here between these two trees. So I'm going to clean that all out, and we'll get that emergency blanket out and take a look at it. Okay, if you remember our cook set and fire kit, well, I keep some paracord in there. So I've got this tied down right here. So I tied the figure 8 knot and looped it through here. Brought it around this tree, figure 8 with the loop and the tie off right there. So the first thing I see is I need to carry more paracord, because if that was any bigger trees or anything, I'd be running pretty close. All right, so let's get to the emergency blanket. All right, so this is the Ozark Trail emergency blanket, and it is reflective on one side. Comes with this little Ziploc baggie so you can put it back in there. It is 83 inches by 54 inches, I believe. And it is hunter orange on the one side, reflective on the other. So survival wise, the orange is okay, but if you were in an escape and evade and trying to stay out of sight, the orange is probably not a great idea, or the reflective. So we'll work on that. So let's move over here and we'll get this thing set up. Okay, failure number 2, well, not failure, but it's setting us back a little bit of time, is I didn't bring any kind of stakes. So I'm going to have to find some small limbs, trim some stakes down. So it would probably be easier to maybe get some just of those cheap little fiberglass tent stakes, 4 of them, or even the little wire stakes that they give you with tents. So that's another thing that we just realized, is we need to get something to stake down the tarp. moving on. Alright, this is a little Camilla's pocket knife that I found. I didn't realize I even had it, so we're using that to fashion us some steaks this morning. So far, I really like this thing. It's got a good rubberized grip. It's got a good positive lock to the blade. It's not serrated. I'm not a big fan of serrated blades. I like it. Alright. Well, here's our down and dirty little shelter. So, I think just for emergency purposes, I'm going to make a floor with another one of these space blankets. Now these things are cheap, and you can carry several of these things with you, hardly any weight at all. So I'm going to spread this out down there, make a floor. And I see right now, you really need to practice this stuff, because if you just throw this stuff in your bag and you really have an emergency, just figuring out what you're doing takes some time. So the more stuff you have prepared, the better off you're going to be. So I'll get this in there and then we'll talk a little bit more. Hold on. Alright, well that'll work. I mean, I think that as far as the water runoff, we're good. I could have brought that down and spread it out a little wider. So maybe that's something to think about if I was doing this again, is bring this down just about 6 inches. But I mean, I'm going to try to climb in here, because I guarantee this is going to be the loudest thing. I could definitely get out of the rain. I actually have enough room to sit up. I do think a better thing to do instead of one of these on the ground would be maybe one of those 50-gallon drum liners with some leaves in it. This stuff right here, you can still feel the coolness of the ground, which in the summertime, that's great. That would work just fine. But if it was colder outside and you were trying to maintain a core temperature, that could be an issue. So you'd want to get, 3 to 6 inches of leaves under you. So for the summer, I think this would work. But cold weather, I'd want something to get me more off the ground. Alright, well, we're figuring it out. So I decided I was going to heat up something to eat on my Coleman stove, and realized I did not bring any fuel for that stove. So luckily I can eat beanie weenies from my truck driving days. I learned to just eat these right out of the can. So there again, this is teaching me the things that I've overlooked, the things that I neglected. So just this little exercise has really helped me a lot. So I'm going to eat these and see what else we can do here before we go. Alright, mosquitoes out here are crazy today. So I bought this little boo-boo kit from Walmart, and it is a Be Smart, I don't know, but anyway, it's a little cheap kit from Walmart that comes with a lot of like band-aids and things. Now I put a couple of my own things in there, like some bleed stop, and I carry my tourniquet in my pocket, so I have that all the time. But the thing that I'm getting ready to use right now is this little boo-boo kit has some insect repellent. So I'm going to wipe down with that and see if that stuff's, see if it works, see if it's any good. Alright, just wanted to show you that. But yeah, you carry a little bag like this, you can put your, if you've got allergies, you can throw some allergy medication and stuff in there, and it's so small some ibuprofen for headache, and there is some gauze in there, and moleskin, so if you start getting blisters on your feet or something. So just a little kit like this, and get you a tourniquet and a little kit like this with some bleed stop. Should get you home. Oh, let's get this on, and skeeters are carrying me away. Alright, so we got our shelter up. Got a snack. Got a little bit of water. Now, I carry these field sheets just to freshen up a little bit. It's really muggy and hot out here today. I think it's because of that. It looks like it's going to rain. But okay, so what have we learned today? That we can build a shelter, and I really am hoping that it rains before I leave. But this is the Ozark Trail emergency blanket. We learned that I need to carry more paracord if I'm going to use it for shelters, which would be the most likely use for it. I've learned that I probably need to get a 55-gallon drum liner. I need to remember to bring my fuel for my stove if I'm planning on using that stove, because I'm looking for quick and easy, because I'm trying to get home. Like I said, I'm not looking to camp. This is an emergency shelter in case of a bad storm, or if even if it's in the wintertime, if I had to get out of the cold. So I think I'm gonna walk around here a little bit and see. I saw some raspberries on my way in. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and come on back, because I think the next time we're going to do an overnighter. Talk at you later.